Hello everyone who is following our channel where we update the shocking secrets, the most dramatic stories behind the movie Beyond the Gates. If you are a fan of shocking details, cold but intelligent revenge, then don't take your eyes off this video. Today's story will definitely make you unable to believe what is about to be revealed. After a long time immersed in pain and haunted by the tragic death of her parents, Haley has continuously dug deeper into the mysteries surrounding that cruel murder case. The pain of loss has never subsided, and the more she lives in resentment, the more her desire to find the truth and demand justice for her parents burns in her mind. The fragments of the truth were gradually assembled by her through scattered clues, rumors, old forgotten files, and secret meetings with people who were involved in the old case. Time passed like torture to her mind every day, until Haley found the name she least expected: Bill, the man she had long believed to be an outsider. Even a few times he had shown concern and helped her in a sophisticated fake way. When the truth gradually revealed through convincing evidence, Haley fell into the abyss of anger and numbness. The real murderer, the one who cruelly took the lives of her parents, was none other than Bill, the man who had appeared around her family with a polite, deceitful, and calculating face. Not letting her emotions get the better of her, Haley planned to approach Bill in a calculated manner. She put aside her personal feelings, hiding her burning hatred behind her calm, cold appearance. She cautiously approached him step by step, building a perfect cover so as not to arouse Bill's suspicion. In the eyes of everyone around her, Haley was gradually becoming close to Bill. There were even times when they appeared together as if some kind of intimate relationship was being formed. But hidden deep behind that mask was a meticulous, silent revenge plan that Haley had outlined in every detail, every possible scenario. Every time she faced Bill, looking into the eyes of the person who caused her to lose her most loved ones, Haley's heart felt like it was being suffocated by hatred. But she still had to restrain herself. Still had to play her role well so that Bill would not suspect her even once. She took every opportunity to dig deeper into his past, step by step digging up more evidence. Every word, every small action of Bill was silently remembered, strung together to strengthen her plan. She did not allow any negligence to happen, because more than anyone, Haley understood that, with just a little impatience or lack of alertness, all her efforts would go down the drain. She could even lose her life under the cold hands of this murderer. She silently observed Bill's habits, daily schedule, from the places he visited to the relationships around him. All were meticulously remembered and analyzed by her. During long sleepless nights, Haley glued her eyes to every document, file, every surveillance video, flipping through everything related to Bill to look for loopholes, reinforcing the belief that he was the one who committed the cruel crimes of the past. And the deeper she digs, the more horrified she becomes when she discovers his false masks. Not only is Bill a cold-blooded killer, he is also a sinister, scheming man behind a series of other dark affairs that few people can expect. Haley understands that approaching Bill is not simply for revenge, but also a battle of wits between her and a dangerous criminal, adept at hiding his crimes. But with determination, hatred and sharp intelligence, Haley gradually tightens the siege, making Bill gradually fall into a passive position without knowing it. She sets sophisticated traps, provokes seemingly harmless conversations but in fact is to exploit information, and gradually makes Bill reveal his weaknesses. As each day passed, the truth gradually became clearer. Those who had been complicit or knew about the matter began to appear. Some out of fear revealed more important evidence. Haley cleverly took advantage of the false trust that Bill had for her, making him let down his guard little by little. She did not rush, did not let anger cloud her reason, because she knew that with just one wrong step, her life would end like her parents'. The confrontation between Haley and Bill became increasingly tense, like a life and death game where each side hid the most dangerous moves. Bill, despite his cunning, could not have expected that the seemingly weak and helpless girl was the nightmare that was silently surrounding him. The links in Haley's revenge plan are increasingly connected. Every weakness, every mistake in Bill's past is thoroughly exploited by her. And then, when everything is under control, when the evidence is enough to expose his true face before the law and society, Haley begins to make the decisive blow. It is not a momentary outburst of emotion, but a carefully calculated blow that Bill cannot react in time. The documents and evidence are transferred to the right place, his former accomplices are dragged into the investigation. The criminal network that Bill has worked so hard to build begins to collapse in large pieces. Bill is gradually cornered by her, he panics, suspects everyone around him, but cannot imagine that Haley herself, the person he thinks is an easy prey to control, is the one behind everything. Finally, when the whole truth was exposed, when he was dragged into the light with undeniable crimes, Haley truly felt that moment of sweet victory mixed with pain. Although revenge was successful, the wound of losing her family could never heal. However, for Haley, the punishment for Bill was the final justice she could bring to her parents, and a testament to her strength and resilience to overcome all tragedies to fight evil in the most silent but fierce way. Finally, when all the truth was revealed, when Bill had nowhere to hide, when the whole world turned its back on him, Haley stood facing him, no longer the innocent girl she once was, but the one who had stripped off the mask of evil. The one who had dragged him from the pinnacle of power to the depths of shame. Her eyes were cold, sharp as daggers. And it was in that moment that Bill realized he had lost humiliatingly to the very prey he once thought was his weakest. But Haley didn't stop at handing him over to the police. She left Bill one last gift. All those who had been his accomplices, his loyal henchmen, had turned their backs on him and were ready to tear him apart to save themselves. Bill was not only facing the judgment of the law, but he was also facing betrayal, with those he had protected now ready to trample him into the mud. He was swallowed up by his own world. What he had built, what he thought was safe, all of it now collapsed before his eyes. Haley made Bill live his last days in fear, pain and despair. Let him feel the aftertaste of revenge, not just death, but slow, gradual destruction, to the point that he had to beg for an end. But Haley did not let him end so easily. She let him live. Live to taste each day of imprisonment, live to face the contemptuous eyes of society, live to gnaw at his own complete collapse. And live to remember that he was destroyed by the very person he despised the most. And then, Haley turned her back, walked among the ashes of her enemies, leaving behind a broken Bill. A rotten empire that had completely collapsed. Despite the wind blowing away the ruins of the past, Haley knew she was finished. She had reclaimed justice for her parents. Had returned justice to herself in a way no one expected. And now, she is ready to start a new life, a life that she has won back with her own intelligence, perseverance and unyielding courage. If you find this story really shocking, really dramatic and cannot take your eyes off, please follow and subscribe to our channel to continue updating the next stories. The unrevealed secrets and the most spectacular revenges. Thank you for accompanying us.